Iran-US talks clear first major hurdle as both sides begin work toward a comprehensive final agreement. Swiss breakthrough? US, Iran outline a pathway aimed at turning talks into a lasting accord. Hormuz, Lebanon, sanctions. Key issues now move into a more detailed and decisive phase. After round 1, US and Iran begin the difficult process of translating understandings into commitments. Diplomats claim progress as talks evolve from emergency crisis management to implementation planning. Can the Swiss roadmap survive regional tensions and deliver a historic diplomatic breakthrough? The first round of US-Iran talks under the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding concluded in Switzerland after several days of negotiations. Qatar and Pakistan said the talks ended with a roadmap outlining steps toward a final agreement and a Hormuz safety plan. Mediators said both parties agreed on measures aimed at advancing negotiations and reducing regional security risks. A new political oversight structure was established to supervise future negotiations and guide work toward a final deal. Technical-level discussions are scheduled to continue in Switzerland throughout the week to refine key provisions. Chief negotiators will report directly to a newly formed high-level committee overseeing the implementation process. Separate working groups will address nuclear issues, sanctions-related matters, and dispute resolution mechanisms. Compliance concerns will be examined through dedicated monitoring arrangements agreed during the negotiations. Mediators approved a 60-day target timeline for developing a framework that could lead to a final agreement. Delegates also focused on addressing risks to shipping and navigation in the Strait of Hormuz during the talks. Officials said a new communication channel would help prevent misunderstandings and unintended incidents in the waterway. The mechanism is intended to prevent miscalculations during implementation of the memorandum's provisions. It is designed to enable rapid communication between relevant parties if maritime incidents occur. The arrangement focuses on protecting commercial shipping transiting the strategically important waterway. The channel will operate alongside ongoing diplomatic and technical negotiations between the parties. The summit also produced a new arrangement aimed at containing tensions and preventing escalation in Lebanon. Mediators said the parties agreed to establish a dedicated de-confliction mechanism focused on Lebanon. The step is intended to support the cessation of military operations envisioned under the memorandum. The mechanism will include representatives from the parties as well as the Lebanese Republic. Qatar and Pakistan will act as facilitators supporting the operation of the de-confliction mechanism. It is intended to monitor adherence to agreed cessation of hostilities measures and related commitments. The arrangement was created to reduce the risk of actions that could undermine broader negotiations. The next phase of talks will determine whether the current framework can ultimately be transformed into a final agreement. Iran draws red line in Switzerland, making Lebanon the key test for any broader diplomatic breakthrough. Iran sets conditions as it warns talks cannot move forward while fighting continues across Lebanon. Iranian negotiator declares Lebanon the central issue overshadowing every other topic at the talks.
Naturally, if this does not materialize with respect to Lebanon, one of the key fronts on which the end of the war must be declared, then subsequent issues will certainly not be negotiated.
As diplomats push for breakthrough, the Lebanon dispute remains the biggest obstacle to progress. Israeli Defense Minister says troops will remain in place despite growing international pressure. Netanyahu also vows Israel will remain committed to its Lebanon deployment for the foreseeable future.
We will remain in the security zone in southern Lebanon for as long as necessary to protect the residents of the north who are dear to us and the citizens of the entire country. As Prime Minister of Israel, I firmly insist on this, and nothing will change it.
Amid tussle, Turkey's foreign minister warns regional tensions could still derail the fragile peace effort underway.
Regarding this trip, there are a few essential points I would like to mention, which I will provide the interpretation later. The first point is that the most important issue is the implementation of Clause 13 of the Memorandum of Understanding, namely, the necessary prerequisites for discussions on the memorandum's clauses. Those prerequisites consist of 5 items, clauses 1, 4, 5, 10, and 11. Clause 1 is the end of the war on all fronts. Clause 4 is the lifting of the siege. Clause 5 is the opening of the strait. Clause 10 is a temporary waiver of sanctions on oil and its derivatives. And Clause 11 is a release of Iran's blocked assets. Regarding Clause 1, which was a main topic of today's discussions in both bilateral and multilateral meetings, and continues to be emphasized even as the main session is underway, the issue of Lebanon was highlighted above all else. Naturally, if this does not materialize with respect to Lebanon, one of the key fronts on which the end of the war must be declared, then subsequent issues will certainly not be negotiated. This emphasis was made by the Iranian delegation and, personally, by the head of the delegation, Dr. Kalibov. Fortunately, through the follow-ups that have been carried out, we will see the results by the end of today's session. Experts also address other clauses in side meetings. The Qatari delegation was present to discuss Clause 11 and the release of Iranian assets. Its executive arrangements were discussed and are still being followed up on after the main meeting regarding Clause 11. Additionally, regarding Clause 10 and the matter of temporary sanctions waivers for oil and derivatives, the final draft has been completed, and we will soon witness the issuance of these waivers and temporary exemptions.
In the past year, we embarked on 2 massive operations with Roaring Lion. We embarked on these operations to ward off the threat of immediate destruction from the evil regime in Iran, and had we not acted, they would already possess atomic bombs and would have used them. I promise here, over your grave, Yoni, and I promise you, citizens of Israel, the state of Israel will not be a passing episode in the history of our people. We stand firm on our vital interests. We have achieved great accomplishments, and we will not give them up. We will remain in the security zone in southern Lebanon for as long as necessary to protect the residents of the north who are dear to us, and the citizens of the entire country. As Prime Minister of Israel, I firmly insist on this, and nothing will change it. And regarding Iran, whatever the political developments may be, I will not allow Iran to arm itself with nuclear weapons. As long as I am the Prime Minister of Israel, this will not happen. To this sacred purpose, I have dedicated my life since your fall, Yoni.